You know, they ask me, and my kids ask me, like, why would you want to be a high school teacher? Why would you want to teach? It's horrible. And I just say, when you guys are struggling with something and when you figure something out, like your whole body and your face changes. It's like, oh, and their shoulders kind of drop and like their facial expression just loosens up, and it's just kind of really magical moment.
I was born in Centralia Hospital. I have lived in the same house my whole life. I've lived with my mom and my brother, and I've gone to these schools for my whole life, and I really enjoy it.
What's really important? For us, it's fostering positive relationships. It's that relationship in the classroom between the teacher and the student. It also extends beyond students and really what we want this whole building to be about with one another, whether you're a classified staff or a certificated staff member, peers, students, administrators, teachers, custodians. If you're working in this building, if you have a role in this building, we want to foster positive relationships with everybody.
For the most part, a lot of them are like, they don't see life out of Centralia. They don't see life after high school. They don't have a plan. They don't have a vision. There is no hope. And that's something you'll hear really frequently. This is a population of kids, as with probably a lot of America, where you need your students to feel like they have stability, they have food, they have water, they're supported, they can take a break if they need to. And there are people who will listen to them and can help them out.
There's a lot of positivity in the air, but I know Centralia itself is a pretty negative place, so I think they have a good way of bringing positivity to the students. There's always posters around with like positivity quotes, and you might have seen on the windows outside here, there's like, you'll do good. And the teachers are always telling you when you do good on a test, good job. You know, just small things like that.
I like the teachers, but like some of our classes, you feel just so like squished together. Sometimes it makes you just want to act out like some kids do, and I feel that's why we have so many like fights in the hallways and all that.
Every student matters. We're so assessment oriented now in education, and you know we have to meet assessment standards in Washington State. Science is what incorporates all those different content areas into one. And if they're doing well in science, they're probably doing well in English, they're probably doing well in math.
I was introduced to the idea of Partners in Science from Jo Martins, who's now retired. She did a fieldwork opportunity with Pat Pringle, who's at Centralia College, who is also my partner for Partners in Science. And it was a great opportunity to learn from him. He's just an amazing geologist. A totally online next-gen inquiry, him introducing that and learning a lot about that from him. I was able to fully implement that in my classroom, and the student response is awesome. We've really streamlined the way we do labs, so I was actually able to take, and this was one of our assignments they gave us, was to take one of our labs and put it into that format, and the response from the students is really fantastic. They're way more involved.
In my country, in science, we only like learn about plants and how plants grow and stuff like that. But in here, I learned about space, how other planets work, how is the day over there, the climate. I learned about the center of the Earth. Over there, you only learn what's in the sky and stuff like that, how trees work and how they grow.
Any teacher you talk to will talk about this way of like, okay, I explained it one way and this kid didn't get it. Okay, so you explain it a different way and they don't get it. And you explain it a third way, and it's such a challenge. It's such a challenge to be like, I have to be able to figure out a way to reach them.
I believe it was yesterday, some kids didn't really understand what she meant by radioactivity. She showed how it can be stopped with paper, and then beta can be stopped with wood and all that. And I felt like just because she showed how that would stop it and like how it worked, I feel like other students got to see it more than like up on a board, instead of like that's how she shortened stuff down and like helps us understand more.
Being a scientist is one thing, and I may have lots of experience with that, but there's a whole heck of a lot I don't know about teaching, and that's what this experience has really, you know, how to reach our kids, how to set this up so our kids are interested in it.
A philosophy of mine has been, if they're interested in something and that grows them as a teacher and as an individual, and then they can in turn bring that to us as a community and our students, then I'm going to fully support that.
The way she speaks to us, you know she loves it because she knows what she's talking about, and she just loves to teach. It's in her voice, and it's a great class. It's filled with great people because they always ask questions, and that's not really something you find with high schoolers.
Gosh, if we want to teach our kids how to do science and we haven't done it ourselves, then there's a big gap right there. The Partners in Science program has done two things. I think gotten me out in the field, but I also just got some new stuff in my classroom that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
I just wanted to get that just right there and know that I'll at least have a fighting chance to go to college. I talked to some of our counselors. They're like, you know what, why not just go for it? So I just followed their lead and I'm gonna try to go to college.
You walk in the door as a student here, we have a job to perform for that student. Nobody can fall through the cracks. And so it's just a reminder for us to keep that at the very forefront of what we're doing every day.